No point in Manchester City standing still, Stewart, Robson. They've won the title, but they've still got to win a Champions League, so they're linked with a lot of players. Here's 5 of them that they've been linked with. Let's see if you think any of them would be a good fit at the Etihad. Let's start off with Saul, Niguez. Is it an exodus of players from Atleti, with Griezmann potentially going elsewhere as well?
I realised what a good player he was when I saw him at the Under-21 Championships a couple of years ago. You know, I don't think he always shows his best in terms of his creativity when he's at Atletico Madrid. He's a player that can do most things that you want from a midfield player. But is he the sort of player that Man City want at the moment? Everybody's talking about having a holding midfield player to cope with the eventual exit of Fernandinho. So Saul Niguez doesn't quite fit that bill. So at the moment, I would say it's not the right move for Man City or Saul Niguez.
If you looked at one position for City in the season that's just about to end and you think that needs strengthening, left back is probably one of the areas that you would pick
Absolutely.
up on. Because Delph, it's not really a left back. Zinchenko,
He's a midfield player.
Correct. Zinchenko. And I don't know what's going on with Bernard Mendy. If
No.
he was as good on the pitch as he was at social media, he'd start every week. So does Chilwell fill that gap?
That's a bit unfair on Mendy. He's had some very
How would
bad
you know?
injuries.
You're never in social media.
Yeah, I know, but I'm not talking about social media. I'm talking about you saying if he'd have played as well. He's been injured for quite a while.
He's a very good player.
He's a brilliant player.
There's no guarantee you're going to get him for 38 games.
Exactly. He's had poor injuries or bad injuries. He's tried to get himself back. When you come back from injury, you can't play week in, week out. So that is a problem position for Man City. Chilwell, who I didn't fancy at all a couple of years ago when I saw him play for the England Under-21s, I thought he was lightweight, thought he couldn't defend, but he's had a brilliant season this year. He's proved me completely wrong. So I would say that would be a good move for Chilwell. It would also be a good move for Manchester City.
Ripple effect, which left back that Brendan Rodgers knows well at Leicester would maybe replace him? It's got to be Kieran Tierney at Celtic. Just saying. Harry Maguire. You've got
Hang on, Tierney's not on there, so what are you talking about him
It's
for?
Manchester City transfer rate, or not Leicester transfer. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well,
that would be the obvious
stick with Man
replacement
City
if he
then.
goes. Okay, Harry Maguire.
I really like Harry Maguire as a player. If you're talking about playing out from the back, there's no better centre-half in England than Maguire, because he doesn't play out from the back for no reason. He comes out with the ball. There's a difference between passing out from the back and coming out with the ball from the back. And when he sees space in front of him, he drives into that space. He then creates an overload in midfield. That's what Pep Guardiola is always trying to do all over the field, create overloads. There is a shortage, I think, of really top-class centre-halves at Man City at the moment. I don't think John Stones is ever going to be quite good enough. He's always got a mistake in him. Maguire is better. That's why I think that would be a hit. Maguire to Manchester City.
Perfect timing, because we're now in another centre-back. If you've got Laporte, who plays pretty much week in, week out, doesn't really play a 3 that often.
No.
Can you have both Maguire, who you've already got as a hit, and the Ligt from Ajax at City?
Well, you always have to have a couple of players on your radar. If you can't get Maguire, or if you can't get Ligt, the other one would be the perfect choice.
Could you get both?
You probably wouldn't want both, because Laporte is the number one centre-half at Man City at the moment, so you wouldn't want to just let him out the side or get him out the side. So if you couldn't get Maguire, if you had a choice of the two, the long-term player would be Ligt. He looks to be an outstanding player, only 19. He's captain of Ajax. He's been brilliant for the Dutch national team, and he was good in the Champions League. So I would say that would be a hit, but you'd only have one of the two. Depends which one you could get.
Okay, we end with Rodri from Atleti.
Now, here's a player I'm not quite knowledgeable about. He plays more of a holding role for Atletico Madrid. I'm not sure he's of the quality at the moment. I've seen him play for the Spanish junior team. He's now just about got into the Spanish team. He won't be a player for me for Man City at the moment.
Okay.
So I'm going to give that one as a miss.
But Ligt, Maguire, Chilwell, all players that Stewart thinks Manchester City will be looking at over the summer.